Pokemon V Union have just been revealed, and would you believe it, they're gigantic basic Pokemon that give up 3 prize cards, they have over 300 hit points, and a handful of attacks and abilities. The catch is you do have to get 4 different V Union cards into the discard pile in order to get one into play. Let's check them out. As we can see here on Pokebeach.com, 3 powerful new V Union have been revealed. Greninja, Zashian, and Mewtwo, and I absolutely love the artwork on this Mewtwo V Union. It's going to look amazing in a binder, but these cards may actually be powerful in decks as well. It says these are being released on August 20th in these Japanese V Union battle decks. They come with 1 V Union Pokemon and a 60 card deck, as well as 6 booster packs. A V Union Pokemon can only be played to your bench when all 4 cards are in your discard pile. You can only play a V Union Pokemon with the same name once per game. However, you can play multiple V Union Pokemon with different names during a game. So in order to get Mewtwo V Union into play, I have to get all 4 pieces of Mewtwo V Union in my discard pile. Then I can pop the Mewtwo V Union onto my bench. I think it's going to be pretty funny to have these 4 cards making up 1 Pokemon card on a bench. But what's even funnier is thinking about having a Mewtwo V Union, a Zacian V Union, and a Greninja V Union on your bench at the same time. I'm really curious to see how players will choose to organize their V Union Pokemon on their bench. Will they just kind of loosely stack 2 and 2 and kind of smush them together a little bit? Or are we going to see these giant grids of 4 cards on a bench? And I'm also really interested to see how the Pokemon trading card game online processes a V Union Pokemon on the bench. I think that should be pretty interesting to see. Now, Greninja V Union has 3 abilities and 4 attacks. To my knowledge, these Pokemon V Union have more abilities and attacks than any other card ever printed in the history of the Pokemon TCG, which makes sense since you do have to combine 4 different cards in order to get this monstrous Pokemon into play. Greninja V Union's first attack for 1 colorless energy is Union Gain. You can attach up to 2 water energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon, and it looks like every V Union revealed has the same Union Gain attack. Zashian V also for 1 colorless energy gets you 2 metal energy from the discard pile, and Mewtwo V Union gets you 2 psychic energy from the discard pile for just 1 colorless energy. Greninja V Union's ability, Probing Foot, reads once during your turn. You may look at your opponent's hand. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a little peek. Can inform you when and when not to use Marnie. So that's pretty interesting. For 1 water energy, Aqua Edge does 130 damage. That's some pretty serious damage output for just 1 energy attachment, and it can knock out just about all single prize Pokemon that are basics or stage 1. So some nice damage output for just 1 water energy. Its ability, Antidote Jutsu, reads this Pokemon can't be poisoned, so your 300 hit point Greninja V Union is immune to poison, which is super nice. You're definitely not going to want your HP ticking away when you have this 3 prize behemoth in the active position. Its attack, Twister Shuriken, for 2 water and a colorless, does 100 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. To put that into perspective, Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX's Towering Splash GX attack did something very similar, except you could only use 1 GX attack per game. You can use Twister Shuriken over and over again to deal a ton of damage to your opponent's bench. Greninja V Union's ability, Shinobi Body, reads whenever your opponent plays an item card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So Greninja V Union also completely immune to Crushing Hammer or Fan of Waves, which is super useful. And then for 2 water and a colorless energy, Waterfall Bind does 180 damage, and the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Zacian V Union is a little bit more straightforward than Greninja V Union. This Pokemon card doesn't have any abilities, but it does have 320 hit points and 4 very powerful attacks. It shares that same Union Gain attack with Greninja V Union, except you accelerate up to 2 metal energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon, and then Wise King's Dance for 2 metal and a colorless does 150 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, attacks from the defending Pokemon do 150 less damage. So if your opponent isn't able to switch out of that effect, their Pokemon is going to be dealing significantly less damage, allowing your Zacian V Union to really tank some hits. And then for 2 metal and a colorless, Steel Slash does 200 damage, just a vanilla attack. But Master Blade for 3 metal and a colorless does 340 damage, and you have to discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. But 340 damage for 4 energy can easily knock out any Pokemon VMAX, Tag Team Pokemon GX, or Pokemon V Union in the Pokemon TCG. You can power up your Zashian V Union with Metal Saucer. You can move energy to it with Bronzong. This card seems pretty promising. Last but not least, Mewtwo V Union has a nice and steady 310 hit points, 4 attacks, and 1 ability. It does have that Union Gain as well, allowing you to accelerate up to 2 Psychic energy from your discard pile to your Mewtwo, and then for 2 Psychic and a colorless, Super Recovery heals 200 damage from this Pokemon. That is a lot to heal off of a basic Pokemon. Mewtwo V Union and the other V Union Pokemon can't utilize Cheryl, since Cheryl only heals damage from evolution Pokemon, but Mewtwo V Union being able to glance off 200 damage at a time is pretty wild and could allow for some serious tank and heal strategies. For 2 Psychic and a colorless, Cyplosion allows you to put 16 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. Single prize decks are really not going to like this, and the fact that you can accelerate energy onto your Mewtwo V Union with Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX could mean that you have the ability to Cyplosion pretty early on in a game and do it over and over again. Now, this reminds me a lot of Espeon and Deoxys Tag Team GX's Cross Division GX, which did see a lot of play in those Welder Mewtwo decks. So I think that if Mewtwo V Union is getting played for anything, probably will be for that very powerful Cyplosion attack. It does also have the ability Photon Barrier, which prevents all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to this Pokemon. Very good for preventing special conditions and things like that. Also, discarding energy can be annoying sometimes. And then for 3 Psychic and a colorless, Final Burn just does a vanilla 300 damage. What an amazing attack. This is just a powerhouse of a Pokemon card, and I can easily see Mewtwo V Union being played alongside Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And then finally, Professor Burnett is a new supporter card that helps you to get your Pokemon V Union into play. It allows you to search your deck for up to 2 cards and discard them. So it's kind of like a Battle Compressor Lite. It actually makes me wonder, will Battle Compressor get banned altogether in expanded format, as Battle Compressor seems very strong with Pokemon V Union. Could be very easy to get a V Union into play on the first turn of the game, even going first if you just open enough Battle Compressors, which seems very strong in expanded format. So I'm interested to see how these Pokemon V Union will affect the Pokemon TCG. Let me know in the comments below, what are your first reactions to Pokemon V Union, and are you looking forward to playing them in your decks? You got to give it to Pokemon. They have been coming out with a lot of mechanics that are pretty eye-opening. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these Pokemon V Union will impact the Pokemon TCG. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, and of course, check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I stream live Pokemon trading card game content every single weekday. We've got a super welcoming community there, and we'd love you to be a part of it. If you've got extra cards lying around the house and you're trying to get some cash for them or store credit or a new booster box, make sure to check out the Full Grip Games buy list. We are always buying bulk and singles at the shop, and selling your cards to Full Grip Games directly supports the content I create here on Tricky Gym. Filling out a buy list is also super easy to do. You just fill out the buy list with the cards you want to sell us, you send us the cards, and we send you the cash, the store credit, or a new booster box. I even got a video there on the buy list page explaining just how to do it. Y'all have a busted day. Peace.